Well, hello everybody, Paul Sesnick here. In this episode, we're going to be talking about reincarnation. Does it really happen? Seems like it. I'm here. I think you're there. Stay with me. Okay, let's get into this interesting subject of reincarnating over and over again. And I'm grateful to Randy, a friend of mine, who sent in his comments to me, and I'm posting them here for us to look at. Regarding the idea of incarnating here to learn and grow, which is a New Age type of thinking, is this true? We came from Source, made in the image of all that is. What is there to learn? On a soul level, nothing. Maybe we simply come here to have a physical experience. Is this possible? Well, thank you, Randy. Let's take a look at what A Course in Miracles has to say about reincarnating. In eternity, where all is one, there crept a tiny mad idea, at which the Son of God remembered not to laugh. In his forgetting, did the thought become serious, a serious idea, and possible of both accomplishment and real effects. Together, we can laugh them both away and understand that time cannot intrude upon eternity. It is a joke to think that time can come to circumvent eternity, which means there is no time. The Course goes on. In the ultimate sense, reincarnation is impossible. There is no past or future, and the idea of birth into a body has no meaning, either once or many times. Reincarnation cannot then be true in any real sense. Our only question should be, is the concept helpful? Well, that depends, of course, on what it is used for. If it is used to strengthen the recognition of the eternal nature of life, then it is helpful indeed. Is any other question about it really useful in lighting up the way? Like many other beliefs, it can be bitterly misused. Such misuse offers preoccupation and perhaps pride in the past. At worst, it induces inertia in the present. In between, many kinds of folly are possible. That second last sentence, which says, at worst, it induces inertia in the present. What that means is this present moment, because we're living in the world and looking outside at everything and all the bodies walking around, we are so preoccupied with the past and the future that we totally are unaware of the present moment. So we become totally inactive in the present moment, which really is the only time that it exists anywhere or ever, is the present moment. And in between, there are many other kinds of folly possible. Another one from A Course in Miracles. You're at home in God, dreaming of exile, but perfectly capable of awakening to reality. The world you seem to live in is not home to you, and somewhere in your mind you know that this is true. Nothing at all has happened, but that you have put yourself to sleep and dreamed in a dream in which you were an alien to yourself and but a part of someone else's dream. These passages emphasize that the physical world and body are part of a dream created by the mind to experience separation from God. In reality, you remain unified with God, and the Course encourages awakening to this truth by practicing forgiveness and choosing love over fear. Now, let's take a look what the Law of One has to say. Prime Creator seeks to know itself through the experiences of its creations. When souls choose to incarnate, it is a free will choice. They are not forced to incarnate. The decision is made based on the soul's desires, goals, and evolutionary needs. From the perspective of the Law of One, incarnation is not about filling a void or achieving something that is missing. Instead, it is a divine opportunity to experience, grow, and rediscover unity with Creator. Through incarnation, the Creator explores itself, and each soul's journey adds to the tapestry of infinite existence. Now let's go on here to the multidimensional nature of the soul, how we live multiple lives at the same time. Souls are believed to exist beyond linear time and space. Okay, we get that. Making it possible for them to extend their consciousness into multiple incarnations simultaneously. Remember what we're doing then? We're extending our consciousness into multiple dreams. We've got a number of dreams all going on at the same time. These incarnations are seen as aspects or fragments of the soul, exploring different experiences to facilitate growth. R.J. Spina, now for those who know of R.J. Spina, he's a wonderful teacher in many of these things. You can find him on YouTube, R.J. Spina. R.J. Spina suggests a soul uses about 2.5% of its energy to live a typical incarnation. In other words, you're focusing your attention here. 2.5% of your focused attention is being right here on planet Earth right now. You'll have other incarnations on other planetary systems contributing another focus there of another 2.5%. You could have quite a few lifetimes all going at the same time, multiple dreams. I like this. By living multiple lives at once, a soul can gather diverse experiences more efficiently, contributing to its overall evolution. You got multiple lives going on, and you're taking all of that information in to give you a much richer experience. Service to others. Souls may choose to incarnate in various places to assist in the growth or healing of different beings or civilization. This is big in the Law of One, that we are here to help other people, and that we can choose to come here from higher densities. This is third density where we are. Many souls come here from fourth, fifth, or even sixth density in order to help other people wake up. And so they teach us about things like these densities. They teach us that these are illusions that we're in, so wake up from it, folks, and start functioning from that part of your mind that is connected to Prime Creator. What else can we look at here? The Law of One perspective. The Law of One describes the soul as a social memory complex in higher densities, with the ability to operate across multiple dimensions and densities simultaneously. There we go. The concept of wanderers. Now this is interesting. The concept of wanderers aligns with this, as some higher density beings choose to incarnate on Earth while still maintaining aspects of their consciousness in other realms. So they come here as wanderers. Most incarnations are unaware of each other due to the veil of forgetting imposed during a third density incarnation. However, through spiritual practices like meditation or past life regression, individuals may gain glimpses of these parallel lives. And finally, the perception of individual bodies and separate experiences, including reincarnation, is an illusion crafted to allow the Creator to know itself. All manifestations are seen as aspects of the one infinite Creator. In transcending the illusion, as entities progress spiritually, they come to understand the illusory nature of reincarnation and separation, realizing their true nature as unified with the Creator, and true reality as being the unity of all experience. So, Randy, getting back to your comments, are we simply coming here to have a physical experience? The answer is yes, especially when we don't realize we are living other lives simultaneously. We are forced to get into the drama of living here in a physical world where what we see out before us, all the other people and buildings and cars and everything going on, makes us feel like all of this is happening to us. But it's not happening to us. It's happening through us. And this is the trick of being in third density. If we also remembered our fourth density and fifth and sixth lifetimes, we'd realize we're just playing a game here, and we'd get bored with it pretty quick because we know the end game. We know know the end result. So third density has this veil of forgetfulness, if you like, where we don't really remember our other lifetimes, so we stay really focused here. However, what is happening is, as fourth density is now fully merged here, along with third, in fourth density, you do know that you're one with the Creator. It's all about love and compassion and acceptance of others. So we bring that into this lifetime along with third density, where it's all about survival of the fittest. Now we have access to knowledge on both sides. And the idea, because fourth density is what the planet Mother Earth is going through, this only happened in 1936. Fourth density began to merge into third density, began in 1936, and it has been a gradual, although rapid, process between 1936 and now. Fourth density is now equally present to us, as is third density. My goodness, 2,000 years ago when Jesus was teaching, it was entirely third density. There was no way people could even get their minds around this idea of living multiple lives. When Jesus said at that time, "In my Father's house are many mansions," people didn't get what he was talking about. How could they? In third density, which is all about survival, you don't understand these things. You don't get them intuitively. But you start to get them intuitively with the presence of fourth density, where we are now. So I'll wrap up this, Randy, with this idea that Earth is now at the end of a 75,000 year cycle of being in third density all that time. And there's history before that, but we'll leave it at third density for now. For 75,000 years, she's now transitioning into fourth density and will ultimately end up as a fifth density planet. But right now, as she transitions into fourth rapidly, can you imagine that? 1936 up until today, that's like a blip in time. That's how quickly she's shifting into fourth density, which is why we're experiencing all of the chaos in the world. And I mention this over and over again because it's so critical. With all of the seeming nonsense that's going on around the world, in politics, in war, in questioning why we're here, all of this is amplified because of the presence of fourth density. Fourth density is a faster frequency. And that means that all emotions, negative emotions, hatred, judgments of others, becomes more self-evident. We can see it. We can understand it. Our intuition tells us that this is not okay, what we're doing, hurting other people, hurting each other. It's fourth density that allows us to see that, because fourth density is about love and allowing and having compassion. So we've got that going on, and we got the hatred going on, and so we've got this chaos, this clash of consciousness, if you like, taking place in the world today. This is a magnificent time to be here. Most of us here today, certainly people watching this kind of a video, know that they came here to be part of something that's changing. And this is what we came to be part of. If we can transition through this and raise our thinking up higher into higher levels of consciousness that are shown here on the map of consciousness, if we can see that our task is to get up in those light blue and purple and magenta areas, that's where you want to be. You do not want to be down in the dark zones. You don't want to be blaming people. You don't want to be angry and filled with pride. You don't. All of those things are anti-life, and they keep us stuck in a third density wheel going round and round and round. And even though it's just a dream, we'll keep coming back into that same dream to pick up where we left off until we get into that area of courage right in the middle, where we decide to be courageous, and that requires being open-minded. and taking a hard look at everything we've learned so far in life and saying, what else is going on here? There's got to be something better around the next corner. That takes courage. And it takes letting go of attachment to belief systems that we've learned growing up. Then we become neutral about those things. We become neutral, for example, in politics. We become neutral about who should be president or prime minister, and we watch and we become an observer. And we are able to even choose how to vote based on higher-minded thinking. We're looking for candidates who function up in those blue and purple areas. And you can tell that by what they say. If somebody is all about continuing the war in Ukraine, you know they're not up there functioning in those higher levels of reasoning up around 400. They can't even reason. They're down at the point of anger and fear and pride and blaming of others. And that's what those that believe in war say, oh, Russia's against us. They are our enemy. That's ridiculous to anybody who's up in those blue areas. It just makes no sense at all. No sense at all. Rather interesting, a little bit of a side note. As of yesterday, I saw a video of Tucker Carlson back in Moscow to meet with Mr. Lavrov, the foreign affairs minister there in Russia. And I'm looking forward to hearing that. And why did he do that? Why did Tucker go back there after having just been there this past spring? He went back there because of Biden having issued instructions to Ukraine to use U.S. missiles, launch them into Russia with help from American military to do it, because the Ukrainians can't do it on their own. So the U.S. is directly involved in sending missiles into Russia. And Tucker's saying something has to stop here. And the Biden administration refused to talk there's no backdoor discussions. Normally between countries, you always keep a backdoor open so you can talk to each other privately. That has not happened with the Biden government. So here, Tucker is there. Did he get approval from Donald Trump to go ahead and do that? Because Trump is not yet president. I suspect he at least talked to Trump about it, and Trump could see the benefit of him going to try to find out what can we do to stop this from getting worse, from turning into a possible third world war. So meanwhile, we, as people functioning up in the area of 400 and 350, we're using reasoning. We're not blaming countries and saying, oh, they're our enemies, we got to go kill them before they kill us. We're not even doing that. In fact, we have a hard time seeing how people can even think that way. But they do when they're in those lower brown areas of fear. So Tucker Carlson will be over there, and I think within the next day or two, whenever that interview takes place, it hasn't happened yet, but when it does, it'll be available for everybody to look at, and hopefully there'll some be good news there, where Russia can see that maybe things can be brought to a halt and the killing would stop sooner than later. So thank you everybody for watching. I just threw that little news clip in there because we're in a world where chaos is the order of the day, isn't it? And we, as beings of a spiritual integrity, want to be able to stand back and look and say, how can we see these things differently? So higher consciousness helps us to do that. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.